Hello, my name is Leanne Mee and I am the founder of a company called the STEM Workshop. I work to inspire all young people about everything linked to science, technology, engineering and maths. And I'm here to set you a challenge on behalf of a company called In-comm Training Services. This challenge is part of your virtual STEM festival called Fascinate, and I'm really excited to be working with you. So before I set you the challenge, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about In-comm training and what they do to train the next generation of engineers and manufacturers in the UK. Okay, let's take a look at In-comm training services and what they do. Okay, so that is just one of the training academies that In-comm Training actually run. They provide training that is rated outstanding by Ofsted. They train engineers and manufacturers for up to 450 companies across the Midlands and Shropshire. They run what we call apprenticeship training routes, and they train for various different roles at their state-of-the-art facilities. Now, the challenge that we're going to set you today is based on the application of engineering skills. In engineering, we need to be able to demonstrate that we can measure, mark out, assemble and combine materials to develop useful products. So the challenge that I'm going to set you today, you are going to need the following materials. You're going to need some cardboard. You're going to need some materials and equipment to measure and mark out, such as a pencil and a ruler. You're going to need scissors to cut, and you are going to need something to assemble. So that could be sellotape or glue. So if you want to make sure you've got those materials, I'll explain what the challenge is. Now, one other essential item you are going to need is a marble. So the challenge is to design and make a marble run that aims to keep the marble running for as long as possible. I'm going to talk you through some of the ideas that I've developed and some of the iterations that I've actually made to give you some ideas and to get your ideas developing. Okay, so let's explore some ideas that you could create for your marble run. So you need to design a product to slow a marble down. So you need to design a structure and you need to design a pathway in which a marble can follow. So let's talk you through how I have done this simply using these models. Now you will need a pencil, a ruler and some scissors, and you will need something to join your materials. I'm using corrugated cardboard. You can use whatever cardboard you like, but what you need to do as an engineer is think about how I can manipulate that material to create a stronger structure and a path for my marble run. Now this marble run here, I've used a flat sheet of cardboard. I have measured using a ruler and a pencil, and I've marked a line. So I've used one sheet and I've measured and marked a line, and I've scored that line. And you can score using your sharp end of your scissors and a ruler, or if you have this equipment at home and you have an adult to support you, you can use a safety ruler and a craft knife, and you can score the card with a craft knife. And scoring that allows me to fold it. So that now can be your backboard for your marble run. And all I've done, if you can see on this one, is I've cut out 2 triangles here and here, and I've stuck them with glue to stop that and keep it as it is. So you can do the same. And then what I've done to make my ramps, I've taken a piece of cardboard and I've measured it. I've measured the length and the width, and I've scored and folded it to create a ramp. And I've glued it here along the edge. So simply glued. I just undo this for you. You can see I've literally placed glue along the edge and I've glued it at an angle. So if I re-glue that for you, just to show you. Now, your models do not need to look perfect. As a designer, as an engineer, as a manufacturer, we explore and experiment with ideas all of the time. Please don't feel precious that everything that you make has to be perfect. Okay, so I'm going to hold that there in place. Place that back on there. Now, if you are using a glue gun, you do need to give it some time to actually cool down. I'm using a low melt glue gun that I purchased from Hobbycraft. And the reason I'm using a low melt glue gun is because it's less likely to burn my hand. If you are using a glue gun, you must have an adult or adult supporting you at all times. So let's just test this marble run. I'm placing my marble here and I'm going to let go. Oh, and it's stuck on, there we go. Okay, now this marble run has got a way of collecting the marbles because I've put a piece of cardboard at the end to stop the marble escaping. What I could do is design something to collect the marbles here. So you've got to design something to slow a marble down and run and roll for as long as possible. So how could I improve that? What could I do? Could I make it larger, taller? Could I make it wider? Could I make the ramps longer? Could I change the angle of the ramp? So if the angle was smaller, would that slow my marble down? Could I change the material that I use so that the material itself slows the marble down, so it causes more friction? Have a little think. So that's my first iteration, my first prototype. So think about what ideas you have. My second prototype is a 3-dimensional shape, and you could create any shape that you wanted. So I've created a 3-dimensional shape by choosing a flat shape for one of my faces, and I've joined them at the corners using glue. So I've created one shape, which I measured as a rectangle, and I brought the shape in at the top and I cut either side. I used that one shape to replicate the others. And I knew that I wanted 4 faces for my 4 sides, and I glued it here with a glue gun. I could have improved the precision of that by creating a net, but with corrugated cardboard, it's quite tricky to fold this thick cardboard. So I've created a 3D shape, and then I've started to design the same path. So I've created a flat sheet, but I folded it up to stop the marble from jumping over the edge. And I've created 3 ramps to begin with. Now I can continue designing that to slow my marble down, and I could put a ramp on each side. So I'll just quickly test this and catch it here. So I'm placing my marble here, and there we go. But I could slow that down. And then I could design something at the end to collect my marbles. So these are 2 different ideas. And then I've got a final idea here that I've explored with. And what I've used is I've used a flat sheet of cardboard again. But instead of folding the flat sheet at the bottom, I've created 2 small feet, which are triangles. And I've created a slot at an angle so that when I got an escapee marble. When I place that triangle into the back board, I've got a slot here and a slot there, so they can interlock. And there we have it. So all design engineers and product designers explore their ideas and how they're going to work using cardboard to begin with. Now this idea has ramps, but if you look, these ramps are extra special. These ramps move. These have got what we call a levered mechanism, and they pivot at that point there. So I've created a ramp with a back plate and I connected it using a split pin. So could you have some moving mechanisms to slow your marble down? So that, obviously, where it pivots, the marble is pushing this way. So I'd have to intervene by pushing that to allow that to roll onto that lever. And then I'd have to intervene again. Could you change where the pivot points are to allow that to roll? The pivot points are in the middle. Could we put the pivot point off centre? Would that improve how it moves? So there's 3 ideas for you to explore how to design and make a marble run to keep that marble running for as long as possible. So we want you to explore with these ideas. You might do lots of models, and then we want you to pick the best one. You might take a photo or do a video, and we would like you to show us what you've created. We hope you enjoy this challenge. So we look forward to seeing what you can actually create. And what we'd really love for you to do is any models that you create. As you can see, I made a few models just in the short time that I spent exploring this challenge. Please ask a parent or carer to upload your pictures of your completed challenges to the event page, the Girlguiding event page, and also tag us on social media. So make sure you tag Girlguiding Midlands. Also tag us at In-comm Training. You can also tag us at our other training centre called the Marches Centre, but use the hashtag Fascinate, hashtag STEM. And we look forward to seeing your awesome creations for this marble run. We hope you enjoy this challenge and we look forward to seeing your outcomes.